Excuse me, super highly paid employee that's definitely not just an automated tripod. I'm over here. That was the stupidest intro I've ever done. Hey everyone, Quinn of Snazzy Labs. One of the most requested videos by far is an office tour. And the reason I haven't done one in over 3 years is because I just don't find my office that interesting. Maybe it's because I work here every day, but Snazzy Labs is a really low budget, low key YouTube channel. It's just me. I'm here in a small office and I don't have millions of dollars worth of production gear. But because I keep getting asked, like, what do you use in your studio? I figured I'd finally show you. We began in the boring area. I apologize, by the way, for the weird wide-angle lens. It's just that I am a living monster, and getting me in the frame with this tiny little stuff is very hard. This is the couch. I typically use it for sitting. I used to film my videos facing the wall here, but the lovely and wonderful Austin Evans of Duncan 33303 came to Utah a couple of months ago and came to visit the office and said, you know, it would look much better if you put the couch in front of your monitor and your desk setup. And that's what I've been doing, and Austin was right. It looks way better, but it's a huge pain because I have to pull this couch out in order to get everything set up, and it takes 20 minutes to prep a video. And I guess it's not the end of the world, but it's annoying. And so I wish I had a more permanent set in a larger space, but I make do. This is a very cheap couch that I got on Amazon. It was like $120 and it's done its purpose. It's not beautiful, but it works well and I like it. These are some IKEA throw pillows. IKEA is not a sponsor, but if you're watching, what else do we have? We have sound panels from a company called Prim Acoustic. This is the London 10 pack. I believe it was $500, which sounds really expensive, and it is. But these are fiberglass sound panels. So instead of using foam, if you use fiberglass, it absorbs sound much better. And so you can get much better sound dampening with much less material. So if I was using foam, I'd have to put foam everywhere, like ceiling to floor, everywhere. And with this stuff, I can have far fewer panels and still have very effective noise canceling and dampening for acoustic studio work. It's not perfect, as you guys have been able to tell in the video, but I've already drilled enough holes into this wall to think that it's good enough. This picture over here, if you know what this is a picture of, comment down below and you will win a very special internet cookie. We're now on the floor. Draw me like one of your French YouTubers, where naturally I store all of my fragile stuff. One of them is this teleprompter. As you can see, I have beam splitter glass on here, which allows me to see what's on this iPad. Now, most of my videos are not scripted because honestly, they're not as good. But in super information dense videos where I need to get a ton of information out in a little bit of time, I do teleprompt stuff. And the teleprompt app I use is really great. It follows my voice. And I also have this controller here on the floor, which allows me to skip in paragraphs if I decide to do a whole section of the video over. Again, I don't do them often, and hopefully you don't notice when I do, but on the off chance I do use the teleprompter, this is where I store all the stuff on the floor, and it's made out of glass. So this is what nightmares are made of. Please forget you saw this. We shall never speak of it again. This is where the magic happens, and by magic, I mean creation of mediocre videos like this one. Just kidding, this is a masterpiece. I get questions about my desk every single day and every single item on my desk. So I figure that we'll attack them left to right. These are the Event 2020 BAS studio powered monitors. They are wonderful, I love them, they sound excellent, they have great dynamic range. The tweeter is really, really, really good, so vocals sound fantastic on them. They're not the most neutral monitors around. If you're going to be a sound engineer, I would not recommend these, but for what I use them for, which is music, I listen to music all day, every day, filming, editing, scripting, and then doing my vocal stuff. They're perfect. I love them. Yes, I know people that they should be mounted on foam. I'll get around to it one of these days. I just have been lazy. Everyone says, you should put those on foam. I know, okay? Thank you for your concern. This is a 40-ounce Hydroflask. I drink a lot of water because water is delicious. I used to drink Pepsi every day, but I figured that I wanted a liver when I was older, and Pepsi didn't want to sponsor me, so screw you. Back to water. Here we've got the Contour Design ShuttlePro V2. This is an excellent little tool that I use for video editing. It allows me to scrub through my timeline and quickly snip clips and pull up my different tools. It's just nicer than using the keyboard. I love it. It's $99, and if you are a video editor, I highly recommend checking it out. This is a tangent ripple. This is what I get questions about every single day. It is $350, which is ludicrously overpriced, and every time I think about how much money I spent on it, it makes me angry, but it does its job well. This is for color correction. So it allows me to adjust the gain, the saturation, it allows me to do color correction. It allows me to boost saturation. It's just a very excellent little tool that works super well. I just wish it wasn't so much money, but what are you gonna do? This is the DOS Ultimate 4 mechanical keyboard. Love this thing. It's Ultimate because there are no numbers or letters. Why you would want that? I don't know. I know the keyboard well, and so I like not having numbers. It looks cool, but everyone who comes in to type on my keyboard, I'm like, oh crap, I need to find a Bluetooth keyboard somewhere. This is not acceptable. These are using Cherry MX Brown switches, so they're loud, but not that bad. I was using Blues before, and my neighbors from 4 units over were like, will you shut up? And that's when I decided I needed to downgrade to a quieter keyboard. They never said that, but I presumed. I've got my MX Master. I hated this mouse for a lot of time. I had the Performance MX, which I love dearly. When the MX Master came out, at least on the Mac, there were tons of problems with weird driver issues, disconnects, tracking problems. It was miserable. Well, Logitech recently, in probably the last 6 months, got their act together. Congratulations, Logitech. It only took you a year and a half. But now the MX Master performs very well. I love it. It is integral to my workflow, and it is a fantastic mouse. Back here, this is called the Schiit Sys. Yes, that's the name. That's the brand. It's just a volume control for my powered monitors because these have amplifiers built in, but they don't have volume control. So this is how I control my volume. And then under the desk for my music and whatnot, there is a DAC. That's not a great one. It's an old one. It's a Music Streamer 2 from HRT Technologies. It's old, it's outdated, but I don't care. It sounds fine on this. And that allows me to convert, obviously, my digital music on my computer to analog sound waves that are then amplified by these monitors. Pretty simple, right? So we've got that. I've got an Echo Dot here on the desk. I use this for everything. I love my Echo. I ask it math, conversion, currency, blah, blah, blah. It just is a wonderful thing. If you don't have one, buy one. They're $40 and it will change your life. And then I use it to change a couple of smart gadgets in my office, one of them being this LED light strip. This is a light strip from LIFX. Now, Philips Hue obviously has one, but the Philips isn't even near, like not even half as bright as this one. This one gets really bright. And so I like that. And it allows you to change from a billion colors, and you can do multiple colors at the same time. And you can say, Alexa, tell LIFX to change all lights to purple. Alexa, tell LIFX to change all lights to purple.
Changed color on all lights to purple.
It works most of the time. Okay, maybe like half. In the back, I got my Mac Pro, which I modified to run on an eGPU, which is sitting right here. It's using an AMD RX 480. And then I've also got a 12-core CPU inside the Mac Pro. So I upgraded that on my own. You should definitely check that video out. It's pretty sweet. And then last but certainly not least, actually it is least. I hate this thing. It is a 5 terabyte Seagate drive. Yes, I edit and store all of my footage on a 5 terabyte drive. Well, that's not true. I have to delete the footage basically every video because my videos take a ton of room. But it frightens me to death to have any media stored on hard drives because if they fail, you're SOL, and their failure rate is much higher than that of like an SSD. So realistically, I would like to eventually build a NAS with like 100 terabytes or something that I could use to store several months worth of footage. It's just going to be obscenely expensive and I need sponsors and I'm too busy for that. So I haven't worried about it and I've just relied on this dandy old thing. When this breaks and I lose 4 days of work, then I'll finally decide that it's time to build a NAS. Lamp from IKEA. I really like this lamp, but they don't sell it anymore, so what are you gonna do? And then I've got a fake plant, also from IKEA, and it looks really fake, so I try not to get it very close on video. This is my gear shelf. This is my gear shelf, and I use it to store my gear. Weird, right? Here at the top, we've got a DJI Ronin M. This is a gimbal for a camera, so it allows you to move and run and whatever and keep your camera still pretty stable. I don't use it often. I bought it back when I had an employee, and now that I don't, there's not much of a chance for me to use it. Also, I'm not shooting outside as much as I used to. But I plan to use it more in the future, and I've lost a ton of money on it from resale value, so I figure I might as well just keep it. It comes with this wonderful DJI remote that was used on the very first DJI drones. been repurposed. I have a V-mount battery, which is a very heavy-duty battery that is very heavy, but it powers my camera and my recorder and even lights very easily, and they're a rip-off, and I hate them, but they work well. Here, we've got a soft box. This is what when I put my camera into my overhead rig, when I take it to like trade shows and stuff, it's nice to have this because I can get like weird extraneous hot lights off from the floor. And then I also use it when I shoot outside because I can put an ND filter in, which is basically just tinted glass that reduces the amount of light that hits the lens. So when I want to shoot wide open with a very shallow depth of field, I can do that. This is my extraneous camera gear shelf. I don't have a lot of stuff on here. I have my color correction little tool. I've got a cage for my camera, so I can put my camera in this little box when I'm running and gunning, and also have heavy stuff on it. I don't really use it often here in the office. And then I've only got 4 lenses. I'm not a man of many lenses. I've got a Sigma 18-35, which is the absolute best piece of glass ever made. Probably not, but I love this thing. And even big YouTubers like Marquez is shooting on a $50,000 red, and he still uses, well, I think he still uses this lens. 800 bucks, wonderful, fantastic, only lens you ever need. This is an 85mm f1.8 Sony. I really like it a lot. It's brand new, just came out, and I bought it mostly for photography. I'm not a good photographer, but I've used it in a couple of videos as well. And then I've got a Rokinon T1.5, so it's like, it's mostly f2.8. That's basically what it is, 24mm. So this is a cinema lens that I, again, don't use often, but I used to use this a ton, but ever since I moved back to this, which I've had for three years now, I've never looked back. This is the best thing ever. Sigma 18-35. These 2 shelves are my extraneous crap shelf. So over here I've got a bunch of boxes for microphones and stuff, and over here I've got extraneous crap like my Nintendo 3DS, which I haven't played at all since I got my Nintendo Switch. I've got a bunch of phones that I reviewed in the past. I have most of them at home, but I have a few here in the office. I've got a Raspberry Pi 3, because why not? I've got some Snazzy Labs stickers, a bunch of thermal compound, an X-Acto knife, an old CPU, because you always need one of those. Yeah, this little shelf has my audio gear. I don't really use a lot of audio gear. I have a Sennheiser AVX lavalier microphone that I'm using right now. And then I also have this Electro Voice microphone that I use when I am doing like conventions and stuff like that, and it's loud on the show floor. I've got a bunch of old screws that who knows to what they go, and I've got an attachment for my Zoom H6, but most of my videos are filmed on this microphone. So this is my main mic. It is a Rode NT5. Now anyone who knows mics would say, why in the heck are you using a Rode NT5? Because this is a drum microphone. Well, I'm only using the body. The actual capsule that does all the recording is from Michael Jolie Engineering. I don't remember how much it cost. It wasn't very much though, considering how good it sounds, in my opinion. I think it was $350, something like that. Just this little end piece. And it has a really wonderful voice coil. It sounds fantastic. I really like it a lot. Door. This is my slider. It's from a company called Rhino. And I think Rhino makes a really great slider. It's a very good value. Considering what a rip-off sliders normally are. This is anything but cheap, but it is definitely not as expensive as some of the higher end stuff that I think this does just as good a job at. It's on stainless steel 42-inch rails, so it's very, very long. And it also has that panning head, so it allows me to spin the camera at the same time. It's pretty neat. These are my Flapjack lights, and I freaking love these. They're edge-lit LEDs, so they're very, very, very thin, and they get super bright, but they maintain a nice, even light. The brightness is adjusted from a knob on the back, and they get super bright. But you can also vary their brightness based on how much or how little light you need. The only problem, they're expensive. I told you, that's it. Pretty simple, right? I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you know what to do. If you don't like it, that other button seems to work okay too. And as always, stay snazzy.